Welcome back, folks, to another week of Word of Mouth, talking mental health, relationships, etc. Y'all know the deal. Like and subscribe to the channel. Link down below to all our social media platforms. Good week. Started clinicals. Got everything in order. Situated up here. Feeling good. Feeling great. Might be able to make some headroom with some new clients. So I'm happy about that. That's not a bad thing. A little juggling act, but it's no issue. Start classes tomorrow, actually, so I'm cool with that. Well, it'll be a week I'll be in the classes by the time this video airs out. So that's it. That's all I gotta say. But we're getting to a new topic today. Well, I'll say a new topic, but not gonna be talking about the run-of-the-mill relationships. We're gonna be talking about professionalism. We're gonna be talking about the do's and don'ts of therapy and pretty much how people just get shit wrong and don't want to deal with the consequences. So earlier last week, this young lady says she's a therapist and was making these comments about black men, about how they're emotionally inadequate, they want to be able to relate to their chick girl, etc., etc. How she's helping the black community, how she sees majority men. And let me go ahead and preface, while she wasn't wrong in what she was saying, it was how she was saying it, and it wasn't the most accurate thing. And it started because of this whole what do they call it, this article posted about men are lonelier and lonelier over time, or getting lonelier and lonelier over time. So I'm going to post the article. Let me go ahead and say this. Doing research, that article is trash. In every sense of the word, it is trash. It has one reference. It's about a page and a half. And the reference they use, like, I'm going to go ahead and look it up, because if I can even remember. Oh, it's men are lonelier and lonelier. Men are lonelier. Look it up right now. Lonelier are getting lonelier because they have to upgrade their standards. Women are upgrading their standards. Something to that effect. I'm gonna find this article. Hold on, give me a minute and I'll find this article. So I found the article. It took me a while. Written by Greg Matosa, PSYD. So that's a PhD level. Kind of looked up his credentials a little bit, 10 years. And some of the stuff he said, key points. Men represent approximately 62% of the dating app users lowering their chances for matches. And then it says, let me just look at it. Younger and middle-aged men are the loneliest they've been in generation. It's probably going to get worse. This is not my typical rosy view of relations, but a reality nonetheless. Over the last 30 years, men have become a large portion of long-term single people. And while you don't actually need to be in a relationship to be happy, men typically are happier and healthier when partnered. Here are three broad trends in relationship landscapes that suggest heterosexual men are in a rough road ahead. Dating apps, relationship standards. This one is good. With so many options, it's not surprising that women are increasingly selective. I do a live TikTok show, Better Project, that speaks with hundreds of audience members every week. I hear recurring dating themes for women between the ages of 25 and 45. They prefer men who are emotionally available, who are good communicators, and who share their values. Very broad. For men, this means a relationship skill gap that if not addressed will likely lead to fewer dating opportunities and longer periods of single. The algorithms are becoming increasingly more complex on dating apps and other online platforms. One result is the greatest match are on the rise. On dating app Hinge found 3 beta trials that 90% of users rated their first date positively, with 70% indicating that they wanted a second date. So, and the reference is somewhere here, but I'm not going to even bother with that reference because it's not even in relation. So, this is what he's basing it on. Granted, he does have a bunch of years of experience, but it's so partial that, like, first off, you're going off of dating apps. Let's just be honest. Most guys that are 18 to, we'll say, about 35 are not on dating apps to find the love of their life. Not saying it's not possible, not saying it doesn't happen, but that's not what they're going there for. We don't have to go into the semantics of what they're going in for, but we all know. 2, he said men being loneliest are on the rise. Men propose to women, so on average, so men aren't proposing to women or asking women out on dates or courting women. That means they don't want to. That means they're not looking to. That means they don't really care to. And for all the women that have these standards of great communicators, because let's be honest, that's not most women's first standard is great communicators. The first standard is how much money does this guy make? And in some ethnic groups, it's how good looking he is. But how much money a guy makes? The average salary for middle class now is $80,000 to $150,000. How many people are making $150,000? How many people are making $80,000 a year? So his argument is just the most flawed argument I've ever seen in my life, especially as a psychiatrist with a PhD and with over 10 years of experience, and he's basing this on just dating apps, and there's not really much said about that. And then the relationship gap, it's just no sense that be made. But that's off the topic. So that's where this young lady based her argument off of. This, which is wild on both of their ends, because people don't realize, as being a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist, wherever you want to put yourself, you still have to do research. And the fact that she didn't research this article and just went off of face value or even what they had to put up there is completely asinine. So, but I'm going to play the videos because she wound up getting fired. But I'm going to play the videos so y'all can get an understanding of what's going on and who she kind of is as a person. Or I'm not going to say as a person, or who she portrays herself online, and go from there.
Say you need to expand your emotional vocabulary. It's so your life can be easier. Don't you want to be able to communicate with your bitch? I think yes, right? Long gone are the days where you can just shut down. Bitches is not tolerating that. Like, it used to be where men provided financially or with schmeat, and bitches can make their own self come and we can pay for our own shit. So I'm gonna need y'all to catch up on the emotional part. If a bitch is telling you, I need you to communicate more, open your fucking mouth. But you know what I realized? And let me back up. A common misconception about me as a clinician is that 90% of my clientele have been men. Black men specifically. And what we specifically work on is expanding their emotional vocabulary, because a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't even have the words to express how you're feeling. So when you expand your vocabulary and knowledge of what you are experiencing, because y'all are human beings who experience feelings and emotions and don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all ain't had to choke that shit down since 2016. Anyway, if y'all are not in therapy, expanding your emotional vocabulary, your life just off top is going to be more difficult. When you expand your emotional vocabulary, you expand your awareness of yourself. When you expand your emotional vocabulary, you understand how you can navigate in this bitch. This fucking weird ass world that is so hard on y'all. Like, let's acknowledge that the world is very difficult for y'all, but y'all are not making it any easier, bruh. You're not. When bitches are telling y'all to go to therapy, it's not for us, it's for y'all sad motherfuckers. Go to therapy, talk about that shit that's on your chest. You don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all are doing a disservice to yourself. And so let me sum this shit up. Y'all told bitches to elevate our standards. And at the cost of us elevating y'all standards, y'all got axed. Because y'all didn't elevate either. Bitches are not tolerating emotional abuse, emotional neglect. Step it up. Go talk to somebody. Go expand your emotional vocabulary so your life can be better, bitch. Alright. Go in peace. Well, hello. It's your friendly neighborhood therapist who thought she could save these hoes, but got her job terminated as a result. Story time? I think yes. Shit you not, I posted a video on Monday telling men that their dusty behavior is only harming them and that they would benefit from emotional intelligence, and I shit you not, by Friday, didn't have employment. All of this started with a Psychology Today article stating that men are lonelier than ever because they have no fucking emotional skills. And I agreed and doubled down and told y'all that y'all lives would radically improve if you expanded the shit that came out your mouth. But instead of healing, y'all will do anything but that. Instead of being accountable, like, hey, this bitch see me, and stirred a little bit, y'all got so hurt that you contacted massa. That's exactly what happened. So first the post goes viral on Twitter, cause y'all need fucking help. And y'all wanted to argue with bitches blue till they fucking blue in the face. Some of you hoes is not gonna be saved. And that's the conclusion that I've come to. So because this shit's gone viral, I'm thinking, okay, cool, we starting a discussion on mental health, and people are, you might not like my fucking delivery, but motherfuckers is starting to talk, you know, shaking the tables, I don't give a fuck. But then it turns into this entire crusade of attacking a black woman who serves the fucking black community. There were comments like, I'm gonna find her credentials and report her, cause I told y'all to be better? Yeah, y'all are fucking weird. Y'all scream that y'all want to protect women, protect black women specifically, but have done nothing to protect this black woman who has been serving the communities. I have been violated in several areas, and I'm gonna outline each one. This article was written by a fucking black woman, putting my full government and my place of employment. So being doxxed by a black woman can't fake, kinda fucking hurts, and she never once reached out to me or contacted me so I could spend my side of the story. This is the article that spooked my fucking job and got me fired. Not only did she not have any regard for my safety, many other articles have been written as a result. Here are a few of them, just to name a few. Black Twitter has words for therapists scolding men to go.
So she played a video, and she got fired within a week. No surprise there, as we can all see. And people were, Twitter and everywhere else was in a heyday about it. Like, how could y'all get her fired? Yada, yada, yada. First off, as a therapist, we are not allowed to tell you what to do. As a life coach, I can muddy that line a little more. Tell you what to do, because as a life coach, I'm here to help you improve your life. As a therapist, I'm more here to listen to what you have to say and kind of guide you to what you want to do. But as a life coach, that's not. So she didn't say she was a life coach, she said she was a therapist. So that was already foul too. All that cursing and ranting, it's very rare that you get your point across cursing and belittling and patronizing people. You're not going to get your point across, especially as a therapist, especially not to black men, because her tone and her tonality is a very commonplace thing for black men to hear. Whether people want to admit it, come to the agreement of it, or whatnot, fine, that's on you. But that's a very common tone that black men hear. And the third point, the article says men. She's saying black men, and that's completely false, because when you look at the data, black women are the most single in this country. And here I'm going to pull up the data right here. So it is at, what is it at? Let me go looking for it, because I can't see it on my screen. I can only see it on you guys' screen, which sucks. statistics show that 30% of black people are married, around 20% are separated, 12% are divorced, 4% are widowed, and 50% are never married. When we look at the statistics of just black people, and this is blackdemographics.com, so you can look it up for yourself. I didn't draw the graph. 27% of black women are married. I think it's around 14-15% that are separated. 13% are divorced, and 48% are never married. When you look at black men, 33% of us are married. Only 10% are divorced, 52% are married. So when we look at the three big deals, more of us are married and less of us are divorced. So by that standard, what we're saying, black women would be mostly inept for marriage, because somebody's married us. It may not be black women, but somebody is marrying us. When you look at the percentage of black women that are married, nobody's marrying y'all in comparison. And then it's like 1 in 4 black women that are married, and then another 1 in 4 that are getting divorced, or 3 in 4 that are getting divorced, or something like that. So it's wild that she put up this point and says she's trying to help, and I feel bad for the men that might have went to her, because she's not helping and it's very biased. So this is why she got fired, aside from her rant and comments and how she talked to people on there, because it's not okay. And if a therapist is talking to you like that, you need to find another one and report them, because there's some people you can talk to like that and whatnot, but that's not the general consensus of what a therapist is supposed to do. They're supposed to uplift you, put you in the right direction, and induce positivity to your life, as a life coach as well. A life coach kind of pulls out your faults a little more rougher, but at the same time, you're looking for a happy end success goal. What she's describing and what she's looking at, or what she's trying to portray here, is more so just comply to whatever your woman wants. And that's never going to be a real happy relationship. So like and subscribe to the channel. This is Word of Mouth. Peace.
Mm.